Here we are with my old friend and colleague Steve Flink, and I'm quite embarrassed because recently, in these days, Steve Flink has been nominated in the Hall of Fame, together with Andy Roddick and Kim Kleister. So, two people who have been #1 in the world. So I mean, I'm number 100. I mean, how can I well, Steve. So
it must have happened with all, because I've come on with you so many times on this show, right?
So now, I mean, you have to say everything. I should be silent. Djokovic beat Monfils in 4 sets, and at the beginning, apparently, Monfils almost seemed not to be fighting so hard.
Absolutely.
This is what he was told by McEnroe and some others.
Didn't you feel? I certainly agreed with McEnroe, Ubaldo. I didn't understand what he was doing. He's standing inside the baseline, not bending over for his return to serve. He looked like he would just hit a lot of slice shots with nothing on them, as if it was going to work. There was something very strange about his demeanor and his tennis for those first 2 sets, and the crowd then booed him early in the 3rd set. I think he deserved it.
Yeah, and then but then he won the 3rd set.
He did.
And
I think Djokovic was annoyed, by the way,
yeah,
because the crowd, who had been so booing Monfils, suddenly cheered him loudly for winning the 3rd set. Why were they so nice to him and not to Novak?
Yeah, correct. And then, but the second semifinal was much better.
It was.
Because Stan Wawrinka won it, but he had lost the 1st set. He was behind 1 break in the beginning of the 2nd set.
Right.
Nishikori seemed to have an edge, a little edge, but then Wawrinka came out and won, well, especially in the 4th set.
I thought the 3rd set was most important, didn't you? Because he already came from a breakdown, as you described, in the 2nd, but in the 3rd he had 4-1, and then he had 15-40 on Nishikori to make it 2 breaks.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's 4-all and stands down break point. Nice recovery the way he won that 3rd set.
Yeah, and Wawrinka has won the last 10 finals.
Yes, isn't that amazing? I can't believe it.
Yeah, and then if he wins this time versus Djokovic, because the match is pretty open. I don't know what you think, because
I think it is. I still give Djokovic the edge, but I agree with you. It is open.
Yeah, well, they played 4 times in 5 sets in the slams. Wawrinka beat Djokovic in Roland Garros. Here he's playing very well, even if Wawrinka had to save a match point versus Evans.
Yes, he has.
So Djokovic, we don't know, is he with his shoulders, the right, the left, the feet are coming all the time.
But did you have the feeling that maybe it wasn't that serious and that he just was a little bit thrown off by all the things that Monfils did and maybe looking for a distraction himself? Because I didn't feel, by the way he was playing, he could serve pretty hard, he could hit his backhand. I didn't think it was that serious. I hope it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, you may remember Andy Roddick saying in 2008 here at the US Open that Novak Djokovic is a little bit like an imaginary somebody.
Right.
I don't know how to say it in English properly.
Right, making up injuries is what he was suggesting. Although he did apologize for that.
Yeah, but he said anyway. When he said it, sometimes he has a cough. He has a muscle that bothers him. SARS, S-A-R-S.
Right.
So so Djokovic is always sometimes a little bit. How do you say? Well, someone feels that he's always injured, even if he's not.
That's true.
Hypochondriac,
right? I don't really think he is, in fairness. And I do think he came into the tournament, as you know, he had a left wrist problem, and then his right arm started bothering him. So there's been all these strange things happening to him. I just hope that he's fit, that there's no problem with Wawrinka's groin, which bothered him in the previous round, that they both come out ready to go on Sunday, best of 5, and play their best tennis. And then we'll get a whale of a final.
Yes, I think it will be a great final. I hope so, because honestly, some matches between Wawrinka and Djokovic have been wonderful. Better maybe than some others between Djokovic and Murray, because sometimes Djokovic and Murray have not been that exciting.
No, you're right. They're best ones, and then you mentioned Roland Garros, but he also beat Djokovic in the 2014 Australian quarterfinals, 9-7 in the 5th.
Yeah.
So he's had some big wins over him, but then he's also had some really crushing losses where Djokovic destroys him. You never quite know.
Yeah. But not in the slams. Not in the
slams. Yeah, that's true.
So he's a slam. I call him a horse that. Good racer in the Grand Prix. you know.
Right,
When
right.
it's important, he plays well.
No, that's true.
Did you see that he always, when he makes a point, he does this,
Yes,
like
he does.
saying, I'm paying attention, you know, I'm concentrating.
And he did himself a favor, Ubaldo, by getting this over with 6-2 in the fourth and not getting bogged down in long five-setters. So I think he's got the energy for the final. He's going to physically. I think he's going to be fine.
Yes, yes. We will see. If he wins, he will have three slams out of 4.
Amazing.
In his career.
Absolutely.
So, like Murray.
Yeah, who would believe it? Who would believe it? But I do think Djokovic is going to be very eager. He's going after his 13th Grand Slam title. He wants this one very badly, and I think he's going to throw his heart and soul into that final and do everything he can to win.
Well, then this is all for tonight. Okay, tomorrow we have the Kerber-Pliskova. We remember that in Cincinnati, Pliskova beat Kerber.
Yes.
I still believe that Kerber has more experience, and I think she will win. But I don't know what you expect.
No, I do. I think if she can, especially if she can turn it into a 3-setter, the only danger for her is Pliskova goes out and blasts her off the court in straight sets. But that's going to be pretty hard to do in your first Grand Slam final.
Yeah, anyway, so I'm very proud to be next to Hall of Fame nominated person, Steve Flink. And of course I will vote for him. Bye-bye from New York. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Ubaldo.